So hello guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beyond the Realms, and as you can see here, got Krazy in the flesh.
In the flesh.
Yeah, visiting the M-Town.
Middletown represent.
We just got out of seeing Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, it was pretty packed in there.
Yeah, for a Saturday at 1 p.m. showing.
Yeah, really packed. So yeah, I mean, the thing I want to go ahead and say is we're just going to go ahead and talk about this film. So if you haven't seen it and don't want to hear spoilers, you might want to turn it off. I figure, I'm late to the game on doing a review on this. I'm not like some of these better channels here on YouTube that can get out and see the movies right away, and everybody's already done that. So I figure.
But better is subjective. Your channel is awesome.
we'll just go ahead and talk about it. So if you don't want it spoiled, you might want to turn it off
now.
So Krazy, what did you think, man?
Oh, awesome movie! I loved it. I want to see it again already. Really.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, they really modernized Superman for the modern audience. And see, I know purists are gonna probably hate some elements of this film because they did change some things, definitely.
It's a lot more serious too.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand why they change those things, though. I mean, characters like this have to evolve with the times. I mean, it really does. I think I don't have a problem with it,
Yeah, and characters like that need to evolve, to fit modern day audiences and whatnot. And that still doesn't mean it'll date the film. It just means it'll update the character.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just the serious tone it works, and just the whole more modern element works towards it, because like the campy, corny feel of the original Superman movies, that wouldn't work today. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way, because I still like those films and respect those films, but something like that wouldn't work today.
That's like the 60s Batman. I mean,
yeah,
working today. I mean, if you want to compare, really, I mean, that's what I think anyway. And that's one of the reasons, I like the original Supermans, but I don't love them just because, they have dated. I mean, that's not a bad thing, but it's just, I don't know. Those aren't my top superhero films, honestly.
Yeah, and man, the level of destruction is like one of the first things you have to talk about in this film.
Oh my god!
I mean, it's like we just briefly talked about this before we did this review. I mean, the level of destruction in the Avengers was a lot, but this one is even more so, and everything just looks so great. All of the effects,
perfect.
The CG work, everything was flawless.
Flawless, absolutely. Yeah, it's some of the best CG I've ever seen.
And Henry Cavill's Superman, jeez.
Oh
man.
my god, I haven't even seen him besides this. He is amazing.
Kal-El, which he was almost always referred to as in this film.
Yeah.
He was only called Superman like 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
Only like 3 moments. And there was one partial moment with Lois Lane, which I thought Amy Adams did awesome too.
She was excellent.
I mean, this film all the way around just blows the shit out of Superman Returns.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
God. I mean, there's no comparison.
No way.
And that film, I didn't like the Superman, didn't like Lois Lane, didn't even like Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. This film's totally different, and Michael Shannon as Zod was awesome.
He was amazing. I like Michael Shannon anyway, but he was awesome as Zod. He ruled it.
And the thing is, I mean, he's the bad guy, the villain of this film, but what makes it so different in this compared to other films is he's not really a bad guy, because, he just explains that his sole purpose for living and existing was to protect his planet and assure their prosperity. So he's just trying to protect his people.
Yeah, he's not trying to maliciously kill the people of Earth. He's not. He wants to save his planet.
Yeah, and I mean he's a bad guy for us, for planet Earth, because he's trying to kill us. But really, he's just trying to save his own people. So you can
sympathize with him.
Yeah, it's a cool dichotomy on a villain. It's very different. I thought I like how they played that out.
Yeah, I love that. But I love the existential crisis that Superman dealt with. That was the major the major focus of the story, is being a god, and how does one deal with that? That was the big issue of the whole story, and I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, when the two dads who the Earth Dad and his Jor-El, and that they raised how they raised him. I mean, that was beautiful. That was an amazing aspect of the story.
It really was. Like the problems he was going through. And, you know, speaking of Jor-El, Russell Crowe as him, I thought he did really good. And it's cool that, you know, as opposed to the original films, you know, he was in this throughout the film, through, you know, being like the ghost character that
he did amazing too. Guiding him.
Yeah, guiding it through like technology. He was like implanted in the ships, like through that it was basically like a
USB port.
That's what, yeah, really. That's what I was trying. I couldn't think of the word, but yeah, he's basically like on a USB pod, but it was still, you know, had artificial intelligence, could still think and everything.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I like that too. And Kevin Costner was awesome.
Yeah, he was, man. Yeah, all the acting, and Lawrence Fishburne was really good as, I guess he was the publisher of Daily Planet, wasn't he? Yeah. He was good. He looked a little different, like he's puffed up a little bit. I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute, what happened to Morpheus here?
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, I mean, it's all around a great film. I think we both really recommend it. Now, is there any negative elements to the film that you can think of?
Yeah, one thing I didn't like they did with the camera is, like, when they did this, like, zoom in thing.
Yeah,
like,
they did do that
I didn't
a
like
lot.
that bothered me. I mean, I guess I understand stylistically, but that just kind of bothered me.
Yeah, you know, and there's a couple things that bother me with this film. The super serious tone, it worked, but it also at the same time didn't work for me because I don't know, man. There was no laughing moments in this film. There was no, you know what I mean? Like, it was so seriously played. I just expected there to be a little bit more fun element to it for it being a Superman film. But, you know, it still works, but I kind of miss that element. One thing that didn't bother me that I actually liked is that they didn't have him work at the Daily Planet, like he gets the job at the end. And I was actually kind of hoping they wouldn't do that at all, because that's one thing with Superman that always bothered me. It's like, come on, man. The guy just has glasses on and his hair cut or hair combed a different way, and you can't tell it's Superman. It's kind of takes you out of the Superman
That's one
story,
thing that always bothered me about Superman.
Yeah, and at the end, you know, he does start working there, and it looks like, you know, they'll carry that on with a sequel, I'm sure. But that part didn't really bother me. It's just something I wanted to mention. But yeah, the super serious element kind of did. And then also, you know, this is really like, this shows you how much Nolan's Batman trilogy has influenced superhero films, because it basically took the template that Nolan laid in place with Batman Begins and put it for the Superman character. And it just doesn't work as well, I don't think. I mean, it works because it's still a good film, but just it doesn't work as well as it does with Batman, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. I mean, I didn't mind that as much, but I understand that. It's like, it was like that super seriousness was kind of like there was hardly any levity to it, which that works for Batman, but I mean Superman, it doesn't work as well. Yeah,
and you know, this is still very much a superhero movie. They didn't make it so reality based like, you know, with the Batman films, but it's still, you know, they made it more reality based than they ever have as far as like a Superman and stuff like that. You know, and my only other complaint is just overall just the origin story of the superhero films. I mean, I understand, you know, they're rebooting it, they're remaking it for a new generation, but I'm kind of tired of the origin stories. I mean, we know it, we've seen it. You know, they did it with Spider-Man. You know, now they're doing it with this. I was a little bit more understanding with this because, you know, you're talking about a film that's been rebooted that's 35 years old. You know, so it made a little bit more sense. But I'm just kind of, you know, I'm ready for the next film to see what they'll do with that. Now that all the groundwork's laid, I think this has a possibility to be a really, really excellent sequel, too.
Oh, yeah. I think it can grow into a good franchise.
Oh, it certainly can, because Henry Cavill really, he really made the character his own, and he's great.
He's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you sympathize with him, too, because, you know, humans hate him and his own race, you know.
Yeah.
They want him back on his side, and, you know, at the end, like, when, you know, what happens with him, what he does to Zod, you feel bad for him too. Yeah, because, you know, Zod wants to destroy him. The people of the Earth don't understand him, so they don't want anything to do with him either until at the end, you know, when they start to understand him.
So is this your favorite Superman movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
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 You know, I was going into this, I really was thinking this would be my ultimate Superman movie. But after seeing it, I'm not real sure because I still love Superman 1 and 2. I can't really say after just one viewing, but, you know, it's not taken away from this because it is a great film. Yeah, I don't really know where I would place it. I mean, I think it's definitely the best since Superman 2, so that's saying a lot. That's a lot of years since we've had that film have passed. So.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen 1 and 2 in forever, but I mean, I just love how contemporary it is, and it works for now. It's perfect. I mean, Superman Returns, that's what that movie I think tried to be, but this one just takes it and ups and did it.
Yeah. Yeah, it really did, man. I mean, they really rebooted this
the right way.
The right way, yeah. So, out of a 1 to 10 scale, Krazy, what do you give Man of Steel? An 8? That's again, we didn't mention this at all, talk about this previously, and I give it the exact same score. I was thinking towards the end, like, yeah, I think about an 8, you know. Because
I want to see it again, right now.
For me, you know, like Dark Knight Rises, Avengers, those were 9, because I did like those a little bit more than this. So, yeah, I would give this an 8. Dark Knight is a 10 for me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, yeah, I mean, you know, I do like some of the more modern superhero movies more than this, like the Avengers, the Batman trilogy, of course, and even probably Thor. You know, I probably liked a little bit more than this, but I know there's millions of people that's going to like this more than all of those.
I'm sure,
you know?
Brad.
yeah, I'm sure. You know, Superman fans, I think, are going to be satisfied with this. You know, if you can accept that this is going to be different, they're going to change some things. But I think
it made me a Superman fan. I mean, this really did.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, I don't care for him as much just because he's so impervious. But this made him human. And that's what I love.
Even though he's not human.
No, I mean, and you feel, I mean, I was, like, those emotions and stuff, it makes you sympathize with that. That
it does.
Awesome.
Yeah, it brought a different element to him. And one other thing I want to mention before we close here is this film, you know, Superman, they didn't change the fact that he's an alien. Superman's always been an alien. He's always came from aliens. His name's always been Kal-El. But they really played that up in this film. This film was equally a sci-fi alien invasion movie as it was a Superman movie.
Yeah, that's true.
It really was.
I mean, with all the
ships.
Day.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, the beginning of the film, I'm sitting there thinking, are we seeing the new Star Wars or the new Superman? Because there's ships, there's creatures, there's all this stuff.
And Krypton is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, I guess that's pretty much it. Is there anything else you want to throw in here?
Go see it.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
I agree, too. So, yeah, we both agree. Go check it out. And this is our review for Beyond the Realms. And, guys, we appreciate you watching. Have a good one, guys. Later.